Hello, dear students. Today's lesson is about entertainment. We're going to talk about places and lifestyles. Please look at the pictures here. What do you see? We have a city and a countryside. We see fields. We see skyscrapers. We have farms, a block of flats here, mountains, car parks, shops, and a shopping mall. Let's try to find out together how is about living in cities or in a countryside. I asked some of my students about describing the place you live, and actually they told me that to live in a town is like that. I live in a town. There are shops, squares, parks, and block of flats. But there aren't any factories or skyscrapers. Another student told me, I live in the country. There are fields, woods, and a river. But there aren't any factories or skyscrapers. Now, let's read the text together and find out what is it about. The title of the text is Life in a High-Tech Society 20 years ago. We think of ancient times. We often think of people living in basic conditions in simple villages. Well, that wasn't always the case. Arkham, near Chelyabinsk in Russia, is a mysterious ancient town. The town was discovered in 1987 by scientists who were planning to flood the area. As they were flying over the area in a helicopter, they noticed a huge circle with a structure in the middle. Archaeologists came to check the place and were very surprised by what they found. Arkham is as old as the ancient civilization of Babylon and Egypt. The ancient town was built at the center of two circles. No one knows why the circles were there. Archaeologists believe that the people of this ancient civilization were very intelligent and maybe knew things that we don't know today. They used a material that didn't burn easily to build their homes. They had wells, ovens, and a cold place like our fridge to store food. Their engineers built a system to protect the city from the floods. The people were excellent farmers and had canals to bring water to the fields. They also studied the stars. Some people even believe that the circles were runaway to alien spacecraft. Strangely though, after living there for 200 years, the people burned down and left. So, what do you think? How did these ancient people become so advanced? Were they from another world? Why did they leave the town? Many people would like to know the answers to these questions, but for the moment, Arkham is a mystery. This was the text for today, and now we're going to check some of the new words that we read during the text. Let's go on together. Flood is something covered with water. Structure, it's a building. Civilization, a developed society. Intelligent, a clever person. Burn down, destroy by setting fire. A spacecraft, it's a vehicle that actually travels in space. Store, it's the verb to keep. And the last word is runaway, landing and take off area. Let's go on with some true or false statements. The people of Arkham lived simple lives. That is false. You know that from the text what we read together. Arkham was built around a circle. That's false again. Arkham existed at the time as ancient Egypt. That is true. Some people think they know why the circles were built. That is true again. The town burned down because the buildings had no protection against fire. That is false. And archaeologists have solved most of the mysteries of Arkham. That is false again. We read about it at the end of the text. Let's go on with another exercise by using the words given here. We have flooded, coast, population, located, runaway, structure, notice, and ancient. Let's try to fill in them together. The Pantheon in Athens is an ancient temple. It is about 2,500 years old. We have the word ancient here. After a week of heavy rain, the river burst its banks and flooded the town. Flooded is the right word to put in this sentence. Berlin is located in the northeast of Germany. Located is the right word. The pilot saw a huge structure, possibly an old building, as he flew over a field. The right word is structure. Jane was so interested in her book that she didn't notice the man sit down beside her. We have the word noticed. The plane began to move along the runway, ready to take off. Runaway is the right word. My grandmother has just moved to the coast. She has always wanted to live by the sea. Coast is the right word. London has a population of about 8 million people. Population is the right word for this last sentence. Let's go on together with your homework for next time. So, I have a question for you, and I think you're going to write some interesting responses to this question. What would it be like living in Arkham? Write a few sentences about it. Thank you. That is all for today's lesson.